The word justice in criminal matters in America does not mean the finding of guilt or innocence at the end of each case. In our legal system, it is giving both sides the opportunity for due process under our laws. That is justice. And that the prosecution and the defense, after an arrest, have their day in court. Now, what does that really mean? It means from the time of arrest till the case is over, the prosecution obtains all the evidence they can to achieve a conviction from all sources, and if needed, even expert witnesses. And the defense has their opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses, present their case to the jury. The defendant can choose to testify or not to testify, have their witnesses and expert witnesses testify. Also, both sides have the right to participate in actually picking an impartial jury. Both sides give all discovery, which is all the evidence, documents, written statements, photos, videos, that they each have in their possession, and they must, under law, turn it over to each side before even going to the court. Also, due process begins at the time of arrest itself by the police. How was the arrest done? Questioning of the defendant, lawyers provided if one cannot afford one, following the law regarding the gathering of evidence by each side, and so on. This is due process. This is what we call justice. And if these procedures are followed as closely as possible, and there is a trial by a judge without a jury, or a jury trial is convicted with a sitting judge right there in the courtroom presiding over the trial, who makes sure the evidence presented in court is legally appropriate under the law, then the final outcome, whether it's guilty or not guilty, that is what's called justice under the laws in America. Of course, we all know, whatever the outcome, either side might very well feel that justice was not served. But under our legal system, it is not the verdict which determines if there was what we call justice. It is the giving of due process to the prosecution and to the defense that determines what we call in the law justice. This is why there is such outrage by so many people who feel the grand jury in the most recent case in Staten Island, New York, should have sent the case further to the next level and not cut off the process at their low level. A grand jury, they do not determine the guilt or innocence beyond a reasonable doubt, as is the burden of proof needed in a jury trial. Also, the grand jury, they're not to decide if they think a conviction can be made. Therefore, their only mandated job under law in this most recent case in New York and in any grand jury is to determine if it appeared that a crime or crimes were possibly committed, and in this case, if the police officer or officers involved might have committed a crime. Then they must send the case on to the next level. I personally feel that that video of the arrest alone was more than sufficient to meet that very low burden at the grand jury level. because at that level, the defense had no input at all in the case. There was no sitting judge in the courtroom. This is why there is such outrage from so many people. But I want to hear what you think. I want to hear from you. So get in your comments. Thank you very much.